everyone, how you doing? Apologies, I'm slightly late. I've just jumped out the shower. Oh, hang on, there we go, volume's better there. Okay. Whoa, how's everyone doing? Bit of a rough weekend for me. Primo boozing. So, not the best. Not the best as in, the weekend was fine. I mean, I'm not feeling the best. I'm gone past the age where I can get pissed for 3 days and be all chipper. Anyway, how's everyone doing? All right? Good weekend? I'm aware it's a Tuesday. It just doesn't feel like it because my missus was off Monday, so we took a trip and I didn't get back until last night. And then obviously got shit-faced on Sunday. Anyway, yeah, everything all right? Audio, sound? Yeah? Marvellous. Right, let's quickly have a look at Twitter because don't want to go on there. Don't want to go on there. That's frowned upon by Susan, and I do enough to annoy Susan. I hope everyone enjoyed my last video. That I tell you what, that lass is completely off a box, isn't she? It's like I don't think she's off a box because I don't think she believes what she actually says. The real concern I have with this is I say they're off the box because they're completely shameless. Like, that girl, Olivia Rodrigo, was born in 2003. Which has just reminded me, I'm going to do it now because I think it'll make for interesting reading. I want to see who the biggest selling singles or albums. I'll tell you what, I'm going to best selling records of 2003 because I'm curious to know just how shameless these fucking knobheads are being. So let's have a look, shall we? Best selling records of 2003. There we go. So first of all, Get Rich or Die Trying was one of them. Yeah, that's the white black lass, Stu, yeah. Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah. I thought only white people could be pop stars. Fucking hell. He doesn't look particularly pale, does he? 50 Cent. Mr. Cent appears to have a bit of a tan. What else? Speaker Box by Outkast. And there's another one. Outkast. The Black Eyed Peas. I mean, this is the year she was born. So it's like, I don't even have to go on about, like, you know, we can all reel off the dead famous one that everyone's heard of. Like, again, there's literally hundreds of them. You can go all the way back to Nat King Cole, or you can pick all of the icons of the 80s like Whitney Houston or Tina Turner. But literally, the new ones, like 2003, she was born, that dipshit. And you've got people like 50 fucking Cent top of the charts. It doesn't make any sense. You look like a thought bubble, yeah. Classy production values are not what people come to the Angry Bootneck for. General tech savviness isn't really a thing with bootnecks, is it? Most electrical goods aren't bootneck proof. Oh God, I'll tell you what, there was some shocking records come out that year, wasn't there? Atomic Kitten. The Black Album. Jay-Z, there's another one. It was literally called The Black Album by Jay-Z. Fucking Lionel Richie, The Definitive Connection. Number one's Michael Jackson. It's big. There's probably more black and brown people than there are whitey. Look, 3 Sugar Babes. Fucking busted. All right, busted a white. I'll give you that. Busted a white. Fucking loads of them. Alicia Keys. Just shit, innit? Just dog shit. So, pile of shite. Pile of shite. And my point is, she knows it as well. This absolute fuckwit, Al Johnson. Yeah, Al Johnson. White as a sheet, that fella. It's absolute lunacy. So I don't think that she's an idiot, which is worse, by the way, right? Because it's no crime to be ignorant. If you're merely ignorant, that's fine. You know, it's no crime to be ignorant. But They're willfully and openly and aggressively dishonest. Oh yeah, Rihanna, there's another one. Has she never heard of Rihanna or Beyonce? When she was a little girl, so what was this, 2007, 2008, 2009? She'd never heard of Rihanna or Beyonce. It's like, it's what I'm getting at. It's not, Michael Jackson was white by 2003. Yeah, I remember a funny text message you got. Do you remember about 10 years ago or something, there was like some proper Nancy children's home in England somewhere, and it got bulldozed. And I remember after the bulldozed, because the local community didn't want to be reminded about it, I got a text message off one of my mates and it said, they just finished bulldozing that, children's ward or whatever it was, and they finally found Michael Jackson's other golf glove. I thought that was a good one. Hiya Kate, welcome. Not like you to be here. You're normally tickety-boo as soon as I'm on the go. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Nina Simone. Again, we could reel them off all day. That's the point I'm getting at. Skunk and Assy. Yeah, she was pasty. That skin, fucking skin. So that's my point. It's we could reel them off all day long. It's not the fact that she's ignorant, because she isn't. It wouldn't be a big deal if she was merely ignorant. Although you would have to be staggering levels of ignorant. I say being ignorant's no crime, but you'd have to be walking around in blinkers with a fucking sack over your head to have not heard of Beyonce or Rihanna when you're born in 2003. But it's the fact that they blatantly lie, and lying is a bad thing. It's a bad thing to be dishonest. You should try to be honest. Like I said, that's what I really hate about the left these days. They're dishonest, and I'm still old enough to remember when lying was shunned. If you told a lie and your mum or your dad caught you, you used to get a fucking clip round the ear, and you deserved it. And it's like, no, they're just shameless liars. Olivia Rodrigo, 100%. It's not conjecture. She knows who Rihanna is. She knows who Beyonce is. 100%. It's physically impossible for a pop idol to not know who Beyonce and Rihanna are. So she knows. So she's a shameless liar. And they're just saying it to fucking play the victim. And cleverer people than me have talked about this dozens of times, right? I'm sure all you guys, YouTube aficionados, you've all watched them. People like Jordan Peterson and Sargon and all them people, cleverer people than me, who've sat there and explained all of this. Like, the reason victimhood is attractive is because if you can claim the victim, nothing is ever your fault. Thomas Sowell's talked about it as well, right, with the black community. That's why the poor bastards in America have been stuck on the Democrat plantation for fucking years. And they're getting nothing off them. Literally decades. Some of these heavily minority-ran cities like Chicago, that Lori fucking Lightbrain. Lori Lightbrain, have you seen that guppy-looking fucker? She, honestly, that pop-eyed fucking walking corpse who looks permanently surprised. Like, Google her, every photo you see, she's like, fucking, hence the name, guppy-looking fucker. I coined that, I don't think I've heard that anywhere else, but that's what she reminds me of. Fish-faced fucking Lightfoot. Lori Lightbrain and her idiot colleagues have done nothing to fix Chicago. Chicago has got some of the worst gun crime statistics. You have to read them to believe them. And they won't stop voting for these people. Every single time. They don't even try anymore. Because they know it's nailed on. They know it's in the bag. This is a real problem for current politics, by the way, especially in the UK. Conservatives have turned into a blue Labour because the Conservatives have got arrogant. Because what happens in politics, I'm not just blaming this on Lori Lightfoot and the Democrats in the States now here, obviously I'm riffing. What happens when you get a stitched up and nailed on constituency is you get what's happened in places like Middlesbrough, for example. Any people in the North East watching, I'm a big fan of the mayor of Middlesbrough. He's a proper businessman. He actually follows me and occasionally likes my stuff on Twitter, which is amusing. I'm sure he's never done a deep dive into it, because if he did, he'd probably be quite annoyed. But Andy Preston is the mayor of Middlesbrough. And he appears to have done more to help the people of Teesside in 12 months than the last 20 years of Labour mayors have ever. Because what happens is you get arrogant and you get complacent. And again, this is human nature. I'm not singling politicians out for this. It's a very human thing, isn't it? Dislikes, Kate. Dislikes off that. It's that I've only got one stalker, and the twat's got about 40 fucking accounts. He's got more accounts than Joe Biden's got houses. And it's human nature to get arrogant when you know you don't have to try. When you've got a boss who's too sound, people take the piss out of him. When you get married, ladies especially, when you get married, let yourself go a bit, don't you? Because you're like, I don't have to try anymore. All bought and paid for, lads. That's what you do. Especially when you're a bloke as well. If you get married to a proper fit bird or you're in a long-term relationship, you do start eating a bit more, don't you? You start training a bit less because you don't have to go out on the pull. You're like, oh, I don't need to get six-pack abs because even if I come home pissed, covered in kebab juice, she's still going to smoke my fucking hat. So I don't need to try very hard. So fuck it. It's human nature, right? It's not just politics. I've put it down in the most basic terms I can. Fat bloke with kebab juice on his shirt, yeah? Nice, basic simile for you there. But it's human nature. So we in the UK need constant harassment of the party that's in power by a strong, capable, sensible, centrist opposition. Labour. Labour need to go back to being what fucking Peter Shaw and the like were. Not Tony Blair, fucking weasel rat bastard that he was. The old working class coal miner, Tony Benn, another one who I don't despise, despite the fact he's a lefty twat, right? Then we need to go back to common sense, aggressive debate from a sensible, centrist opposition. Not like now, where Boris Johnson says, let's lock down, and Keir Starmer goes, lock down harder, you cunt. That's not opposition. Agreeing completely with the people in charge isn't an opposition. Nobody opposes the current Conservative government. So what's the point? What's the point in the opposition? They're all pissing in the same pot, to use a common phrase by anyone over the age of 20 in the North East. They all piss in the same pot. Voter disenfranchisement in the North East is as high as it is because they do nothing. They do less work than the ship's cat. And it annoys people. So Andy Preston, yeah, done more work than any. Dave Budd was the Bent Borough mayor for years, and he did jack shit. He was as much use as tits on a fish. He was as much use as a nun's minge. This guy's been there a couple of years, and he's doing stuff, promoting business, getting the airport open with Ben. Is it Ben Bradley? Doing stuff. Because they got lazy. They were like, oh, we're definitely going to win. We're definitely going to win. We don't need to do anything. So that shit for brains Laurie Lighthead, of course she's useless. And it's because victimhood is sexy. Victimhood is appealing. She sells them that. She says, oh, we're all victims. I'm going to make Whitey pay for everything. Thomas Sewell, Larry Elder, people like that, they say, do some fucking work. Don't sit on your ass and rely to be rescued by the fucking state. Get off your fucking fat ass. Do a bit of exercise, brush your teeth, iron your shirt, and go to a fucking few job interviews. And people don't want to do that because that's hard. Doing shit is hard. Crying about how hard you've got it is fucking easy. It is fucking mad. I mean, I'm not going to rant too much about this, but it does seem to be a mindset. I don't think it's related to where you're from, but it's a mindset that I think comes from the Enlightenment philosophies of Europe. Because in other parts of the world, they just don't seem to have that same ethic, the capitalist mindset. When we went to Sierra Leone, I swear to God this is a true story. First thing you do when you're a soldier in a shithole, a proper shithole. When we went to Sierra Leone, honestly, it was literally we were staying in a hammock in the trees, in the fucking jungle. We didn't have a building to stay in. We weren't sleeping in a fucking a corrugated iron shed. We were sleeping in the trees, in a hammock. Rough routine. We turned up to the fucking place, and within a few days, we all started working to like make it better. Like you clear the camp and you go, what can I do all day? This fuck I'll do. And when you're not working, let's maybe you chop down a tree, make it into like a little fucking chair. You know, make some shelves out of a bit of paracord and some fucking old ration boxes. It's just in you to go, right, I'm going to improve my lot. The locals sit under a fucking tree and watch you for fucking 12 hours a day. Not doing any work. Just pick up a fucking machete and go do something. But they literally just sit there. 15 hours a day. What's he doing now? What's that cunt doing now? He appears to be chopping a tree down. What the fuck's he doing that for? Why doesn't he sit under a tree with his thumb up his fucking ass all day? That'll help. That'll help loads. And that's what happens. And then honestly, when we were ripping out a theatre, they were all there on starting blocks, chomping at the bit, desperate to get in. Where they going? Because obviously we weren't letting them into the camp, the perimeter. Fucking, as soon as the last guy leaves, they're like, straight into the fucking camp, ripping the fucking shit out of it. I've seen blokes dive into the latrine because there was a little bit of plywood on it. Well, I don't know what you're going to do with that. Use it as a roof? A shit-covered roof? And smacking fuck out of each other for this little bit of shitty plywood. It's like, if you lads spent 12 hours a day doing something useful, you could improve your lot. I swear down, if I crashed on a desert island, it'd be shit for the first few days. After a few days, I'd definitely have a rudimentary shelter, somewhere to fucking sit. Yeah, I might have fashioned a chair out of an old hollowed out fucking tree or so, whatever it is, whatever the shelter's going to be. And you take it from there. But the attitude of a lot of people seems to be, fuck it, I'll stick my thumb up my fucking ass and I'll wait for my betters to fucking help me. And when you work in class, that type of talk is anathema to you. I don't want any help. I would rather rip my fucking heart out of my chest and eat it than ask some self-important, Guardian-reading daft cunt for help. I don't want any help. I'm 41 years old. I haven't had a penny in dole my entire life. I left school at fucking 16. Started working straight away. Worked on the coke ovens as a teenager, carrying fucking shit upstairs covered in coal dust, right? And then I joined the Marines, and I also joined the Territorial Army for a few years to sort of toughen me up when I was 16. Robinson Bootneck. Ray Mallon, yeah, bent as fuck, Jeff. Robocop. Well, you need him, don't you, in Borough? You can't close your windows without trapping someone's fucking fingers in Borough. It's impossible. That reminds me of an old Chubby Brown joke. He said, I walked out the house the other day. It's a rough town, Middlesbrough, you know. He said, I walked out the house. There was a fucking fella at the end of the drive. I went, morning. He said, fat cunt. I was like, morning, officer. just a little short one there, Chubbs. It's ridiculous. And I just don't understand this mindset. It's toxic. It kills societies. This is again the single biggest issue with communism and left-wing ideology. It kills societies. It's cancer. It's way, way, way worse than what people think it is. It's not just a simplistic case of, oh, they're a bit idealistic so the economy tanks. It's like it kills every aspect of your society. It ruins the schools and the kids' lives. It ruins kids' lives because it makes them have the same attitude. They go, I don't need to try hard in school. I don't need to try. The government's going to do everything for me. So I don't need to put any effort in. And what do you get 10 years later? Your kids go to state school and by the time they leave it, you've got fucking planks for children. A fucking log. It's ridiculous. It ruins everything because it stymies innovation, effort. integrity, everything. It's the society killer. I've got something annoying me in my nose. It's going to make me sneeze. Yeah, so it's shocking. It is a monstrous ideology. Didn't Merson sign for Borough because he could get coke for £20 per gram? I'll tell you a dead funny story about Paul Merson, right? I read his book, and he talks about how Brian Robson, famous pisshead, Captain Marvel, he was so relaxed, he was horizontal, and he said, I've had managers who were a bit chilled out, He said, but one time he was reaming us all out at half time because we were getting a bollocking because we were losing. He said, and then his John Luca Festa's phone rang, the Middlesbrough defender. He picked it up, went hello, and Robson went and looked at him, and and he said most managers won't even let you have a phone anywhere near the dressing room. He said, Robson went, who's that? And he went, it's the bookie. And Robbo went, put us 100 on fucking... Like, that's how chilled he was. And Paul Merson said there was, like, fags and cans and betting slips in the dressing room. And when he was absolutely fantastic for Middlesbrough. He got us single-handedly promoted. And then at the end of that year, he said, I have to leave. And the fans were like, what are you leaving for? And he said, because I'm an addicted gambler and addicted alcohol, and everyone's drinking booze in the dressing room, everyone's smoking tabs, there's fucking betting slips everywhere. And the fans were like, yeah, fair enough, Paul. Fair enough, Paul, you're a good lad. I come here to gaze at your lovely face, Bootneck. Jane, are you partially sighted? I've got pork chops and male pattern baldness, and I'm in my 40s. I'm really not sex symbol material, but I appreciate it anyway. Thanks. So it's a cancer. It's a cancer on the bollocks of humanity. The left wing ideology. It's completely due to childish, infantile fascination with not so much Marxism and communist ideology and all that stuff, because 9 out of 10 lefties are not that well educated. They think they are. They have expensive educations where they go to places like Oxford and Cambridge. But as we're well aware of now, because this toxic ideology destroys the education system, you've got people now, I swear to God, I know this is going to sound extremely arrogant, coming from a man with GCSEs and fuck all else. But I guarantee, if I went on fucking University Challenge or Mastermind or some general knowledge show, fucking blockbusters, I'd absolutely destroy some shit for brains communist like Owen Jones, because in schools now, universities, they learn less than fuck all. Like, I swear to God, what do they learn? AOC knows nothing. Chomper. AOC pinched her teeth off a dead sheep and she thinks she can talk sense to me. Are you having a laugh? Look at my teeth. AOC, suck on them bad boys. Yeah, they don't look like they were prized out of a fucking dead livestock skull and crammed in there. How does someone that thick get to office? But what I'm getting at is they don't know anything. They learn all there is to know about one tiny discipline. And most of it's lies, especially if you're doing a history fucking degree, right? Just pure fucking lies. George Orwell told us what was going to happen. Pure fucking lies in history class. I've seen it all over Twitter. Educator, I'm an educator. And then they just spew fucking gobbledygook into cyberspace. There was some Asian woman, obviously British, Pakistani, talking about the history of the British Empire on Twitter, with thousands of followers. She's a primary school teacher, and it was like, Britain strip mined the rest of the world for resources. That's why they're all doing terrible. And she was reeling places off we hadn't been anywhere fucking near, like Morocco and Algeria and shit that was like French. I was like, what the fuck's that got to do with me? Like, me specifically as well. She's not saying historically. She's like, you cunt. What, me? Yeah, you 27-year-old white bloke from fucking Edinburgh. You horrible bastard. So you don't know what you're talking about. AOC knows nothing. Postmodernists, communists, Marxists, these fuckers, they don't know anything. They don't know anything about antiquity. They don't know anything about history. Seriously, AOC, Dunkirk. She's the one who saw Dunkirk and said, why isn't there any black disabled lesbians on the beach? Because it's Dunkirk, you thick twat. Fuck me. I mean, seriously, Anyone doubting my words, just read some of her fucking corkers, AOC's. Why isn't there any dwarfs with club foot on the beach at Dunkirk? Because it's Dunkirk. Holy shit. Get a fucking grip. You know what I'm saying? They don't know anything. And that's why they're dangerous, because it twins those two things. As I've said before, the worst two things you can have together is ignorance and arrogance. At least most people that are ignorant are aware that they're ignorant. And the most people that are ignorant, they're aware. If you were to say, tell me about, I don't know, ancient Persia, I probably don't know that much. Just the basics you get in high school, which apparently I've mastered better than most, because I'm aware of, you know, the big issues, and I know about the Ayatollah and the revolution in 79 and all that fucking shit. So I'm probably way better than AOC. But I'd admit, no, I'm pretty ignorant on ancient Persia, as I haven't read that much about it. When you've been to a school like Oxford or Cambridge, we revere these institutions so much that they become arrogant. They go, I've got a degree from Oxford and Cambridge. I know everything. They stop learning. They don't know fuck all. So, like, they're actually thicker. I'd rather get life advice from a scaffolder that dropped out of school when he was 15 than some cunt who works for the BBC. I shit you not. That Dan Snow, the historian from the fucking BBC, he knows less about history than my fucking nana. And she was a taxi driver. Like, these people know nothing. They're actively misled. Or they're just totally ignorant. AOC doesn't know where Afghanistan is. When I've seen interviews where they ask AOC about Palestine, Israel-Palestine, I know more about Israel-Palestine than AOC does. She's a fucking plank. She hasn't got any fucking clue. And this is what I'm saying, these commies, these postmodernists, these lefty daft cunts, everything they know is after about 1950. That's why they think they've got it so rough. That's why Olivia Rodrigo thinks she's got it bad. Because she hasn't read the road to Wigan Pier and reads about the fucking northerners who crawl to work on their hands and knees to fucking pick shit out the ground for 12 hours a day. So she thinks she's got it rough. Owen Jones and Ash Sarkar think they've got it rough because they're thick. There's no other way to put it. I know that makes me sound arrogant. I don't think I'm a widehead, T-Fallhead. That's not me, T-Fallhead Taylor. I don't think I'm a widehead. I think I'm of average intelligence with an average British education from an average school. So if I want to learn about something, I go, oh, I'm not that clued in there. I need to learn about it a bit more. But if you're a fucking BBC journalist with a head full of cow shit and a fucking bullshit degree from Oxford or Cambridge with a load of dog shit fucking facts stuffed in your head by a communist professor who was indoctrinating you rather than educating you, I'm cleverer than you because you're thick as fuck. And anyone who doubts the fucking words, look up AOC. AOC went to an Ivy League university and has an economics degree. An economics degree. AOC has got an economics degree. I'd rather get monetary advice from one of those smack-addled, degenerate prostitutes under Albert Bridge in Middlesbrough. That's how fucking useless they are. I'd rather go up to a shit-covered tramp in the bus station, covered in spew and betting slips, and say, here mate, I've got 10 grand, what should I do with it? Because AOC, with a fucking economics degree, knows less about fucking balancing the books than Mongo, the fucking chimney sweep. It's absolute lunacy. So there you go. Who is this AOC anyway? Oh God. Google AOC, Snoop. That's all you need to do. Google her. In fact, shall I do it? Let's see what she said. Jay-Z, the Black Album. No, we don't want to do that. Let's Google AOC. There she is. Biden has to replace Powell as the Fed chair. AOC. What did she say that was fucking ridiculous? In fact, was it AOC who said that about Dunkirk? Progressives, led by AOC. Yeah, there she is. She's a fucking idiot. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, Sandy Cortez, IQ of a pork pie. That's who AOC is. I don't want to get into it because I'll vanish down the rabbit hole if I start fucking pulling AOC to bits because I hate her. She's a deranged communist and she's somehow got elected to office. Fuck knows why. Well, I was going to do this, but I've like sort of gone over already, just ranting. Basically, shall I just stop reading the news and just talk shit on camera? Because I never get around to the story I want to talk about. This one, why so many workers have lost interest in their jobs. I'll do it quick. Look at this. For many, the pandemic has deteriorated our relationship with our jobs. Can you reignite the spark? And should you even try? And should you try? This is what started me on the fucking rant in the first place. Should you even try? That's their attitude. Lori Lightfoot. We're all getting shot in the head in Chicago. Can you fix it? Should you even try, though? It's unbelievable. That's what I'm telling you. Lefty ideology, it fucking it'll ruin your life if you let it. It'll ruin your life if you let it. If you embrace this fucking drivel, it'll ruin your life. You'll turn into a victim, a loser. I need help. I need help. This is why the working classes have turned against their own. You know, working class blokes like me from shithole towns like Middlesbrough, we've turned against the chavs who have got absolutely fuck all because with this 30 years of the welfare state indoctrinating children, lefty dickheads taking over the fucking education system. They don't want to work. This is my people, poor northern working class scum. They don't want to work. They go, got booze for baby. Got booze for baby. Fuck it. They don't want to do any work. Mick fucking Philpott. Owen Jones created Mick Philpott. He is Dr. Frankenstein and Mick Philpott is the big fucking green bastard with size 30 feet. They do this. Owen Jones created Mick Philpott. He said, do nothing but eat, sleep and fuck and we'll feed your kids. Outsource it to the state. Microchips, scratch cards and noodle fucking doodles are on me, Mick. You thick commie bastard. You did this, Owen. Emily Maitlis, you did this. You daft lefty twat. They want everything given to them, Stu. Exactly right. And working class people know it. You know who doesn't know it? Their fellow working class people, the ones that don't lean towards victimhood and actually get a job. They know it. The people who don't know it is Keir Starmer and Boris Johnson and Guardian readers and Emily Maitlis and the BBC. Oh, we have to help the poor working class people. They don't want to help themselves. Stop paying for their special brew and their turkey dinosaurs and they'll get a fucking job. Shit for brains. Humans are inherently lazy. We're an evolved chimp. If we can sit under a tree and scratch our balls all day, we'll do it. So venerate work. Venerate self-help. Venerate staying fit. Nurturing your mind. Working hard. Taking responsibility. Improving your lot. Don't enable Mick Philpott to sit on his fat ass for 40 years drinking cans and smoking Super Kings, and when he's had enough and he's run out for the day, set his fucking boys on fire. You did this, lefty enablers. You're as guilty as a battered wife who tells everyone he loves me really. He doesn't. He knocks the shite out of you, you dippy fucking mare. How hard is it? How hard is it? So this bollocks, typical BBC, wah wah wah, should you even try? Nah, don't try, just be a fucking dickhead. Don't try, but why try? You tried and you failed miserably, so why try? To quote Homer Simpson, fuck it, just do nothing. Just do nothing, we'll buy your cans, Mick. Fucking do one. The BBC is a tumour on the bollocks of the world, and everybody who watches this channel knows it. It cannot get bulldozed soon enough, but it'll never happen under a Tory government, because fat albino jellyfish is about as left-wing as fucking Owen Jones himself these days, isn't he? So we've got no chance. Fuck it. Pay your licence fee, working class scum, and get back to watching your favourite dog shit, taxpayer-funded indoctrination fucking campaign. Alright? Anyway, that was 35 minutes. I think I'm done. Give a man a fish, etc. Yes, Jimmy, exactly right. Boot for Governor of California. That reminds me, I have to vote this week. I am voting for Larry Elder and Gavin Newscum. Patrick fucking Bateman is getting kicked to the curb. Even though I don't think, and I will finish on this, Sad Wings for my American watchers. I bet you Gavin Newsom wins. Even though every single person I've talked to for about a fucking month, ever since I got back anyway, thinks he's a twat. Every single one of them. My mother-in-law, who's a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, said, I hate him. He's done nothing about homeless people. I'm voting him out. Both of her sisters, I've seen them all this weekend, both dyed-in-the-wool Democrats, like, no, he's useless. I'm going to vote for another Democrat. Everyone I've ever met is getting rid of him. And I bet you he wins. If he wins, that's proved the conspiracy theory. Because I've never met a Democrat who's voting for the cunt. So if he wins, that's just proof they rigged it. I mean, I think they did anyway. But this'll nail it on. If somehow Patrick fucking Bateman stays on as the governor, I'll be absolutely astounded. Anyway, that'll do for the day. Alright? Thanks for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, all of that bollocks, and the pints. Those generous twats that bought me one. Rest assured they will all go on cheap shitty lager this weekend. I think I'm going to San Diego this weekend. Because I'm still playing the tourist, I haven't been back long. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. Channel's growing. It's doing all right. Thanks a lot, everyone, for everything. You're all good eggs, really. All right, fuck it. I'll probably see you tomorrow, seeing as I'm not working full-time anymore. It's fucking mint. I tell you what, I can see where Mick Philpott's coming from. The difference is the taxpayer's not paying for my cans. I'm living off my savings at this point. So, yeah, cheers. I'll see you tomorrow.